Georgian Bay, the ultimate proving grounds. How bad do you want it? When we say enough is enough, what are you willing to endure to succeed? For us, the answer is simple. Whatever it takes. Strap in and enjoy the ride on our hunt for the Giants of Georgian Bay.
For as long as I can remember, I've been obsessed with the next bite, exploring new waters in hopes of finding a trophy, and the idea that if you put in the work, others won't. To get there first, you'll be rewarded. Growing up, the search for the next trophy was always centered around getting into more and more remote bodies of water that nobody else was fishing. Whether this meant bushwhacking with a kayak overhead, strapping a tinner to the ATV trailers, or pushing your way through a swamp towards a clearing that may or may not be a lake, the thought remained the same. It could be filled with trophies, and there was only one way to find out. The potential always outweighed the effort that was required. This weekend, we are throwing it back to our roots, exploring new waters on the bay outside the traditional boating routes that have remained unmapped and, to our knowledge, untouched. But this time, we have the skills and the technology to unlock its true potential. It's time to navigate uncharted waters. For getting to the campsite late in the day, we were set up and went for a quick fish nearby camp before dark. The wind made it difficult to fish a few areas and forced us to stay in more protected waters. After only catching one pike and a few small bass, we decided to try one spot out in the wind for pickerel, but the wind just made it too difficult. We headed back to camp to prepare for the next day. Despite targeting an area that's unmapped, we've still done our research and came up with a collection of spots we think will hold smallmouth, muskie, and northern pike based on our knowledge of their seasonal movements. Satellite imagery is a massively important tool in being able to locate these areas and come up with our strategy before ever hitting the water. Right away, we started to run into fish, and it's obvious our research had paid off.
There we go.
After a quick stop with shallow weeded bay, we decided to target a gravel flat at the mouth of spawning bays with deep water access nearby and exposure to the main lake winds, which should help to keep temperatures cool in the summer and fish in shallow water. It didn't take long to start seeing smallies.
Look at them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are they still there? Yeah, they're all right here.
Smallmouth are schooling fish. They use each other to help feed in order to make up for their lack of efficiency in feeding due to their jaw limitations. The school will often follow fish into the boat while one is on the line, and so if your partner hooks up, be sure to cast where he just got bit and to watch or cast behind their fish as they bring it in. These fish are in a feeding mode while following and will almost always bite.
After running into a small school of smallmouth, we decided to move out towards deeper water in search of more quality.
It's not that big. Oh. talking about. Not quite. Hooked up. 4 or 5. Everything's not the box.
The further we moved towards the main lake, the bigger and more aggressive the smallmouth got. They were often following and attempting to bite 7-inch pike swimbaits as we brought them into the boat. Once they revealed themselves, a follow-up with a drop shot is all it took to get the bite.
Oh my god! There's 2 great big ones right here. Oh, there he is. Oh my god! And another one. Little baby. Look at that. There's 2 more right there. Still look good.
After moving to a gravel flat with current coming into it through the seams of the islands, we find a giant school of smallies. Almost every cast is hooking up, and we're doubled up more often than not. Smallmouth typically school by size. Although there may be the odd fish that is bigger or smaller than the rest of the school will often be cookie cutter images of one another. One thing we noticed was how cold the water was in this area. At 68 Fahrenheit, the deep weed areas with deep water access we had found using satellite imagery should still be stacked with big pike. We couldn't help ourselves but to break out the swim baits and take advantage of our favorite bite of the year.
Oh, there's a big deer. Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, that's huge.
Focusing on the predicted hotspot locations and fishing quickly through the areas in between, we kept running into quality fish.
Oh, look at that. Oh. Saying 312.
While we could have chose to work the areas we were catching fish with more effort and spent more time there, this weekend's mission was about exploring new waters, and so we opted to keep searching new locations to see what else we could find. And it did not disappoint.
Hey! Throw a cam? Oh baby! That's a fat one. Dude, if we get a 40 inch right here, it's gonna weigh 30 pounds. Fucking little dinky thing. Hey? Little dinky thing. Yeah.
Deep weeded areas are magnets for pike. However, finding these areas on your body of water can be difficult and take lots of time.
Yep. There he is, Brandon.
We've been able to develop a method for locating these areas exclusively from satellite imagery with about 80% accuracy. This saves tremendous amounts of the limited time we have on the water each outing to focus on fishing rather than searching. To learn how you can do the same, check out our utilizing satellite imagery course as part of the Zero to Hero Fishing Masterclass at newwavefishingacademy.com. Casting the weeds for a while, we finally get a follow from a 40-inch class fish, and it just sits under the boat, following my bait as I jig it and move it around.
Follow it right up.
After a few more 30-inch pike, we head back to camp sunburnt, sore, and satisfied with all the fish we found today.
Why you should use big lures?
Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life.
After catching quality bass and pike yesterday, we decided to focus our efforts today on confirming as many of the deep weed bed areas from satellite imaging as possible so that we could fish them more efficiently in the future, depending on the time of year when we're back in the area. As we move out to deep weeds and more open waters, the pike bite keeps getting hotter and hotter. To us, just knowing the location of these deep weeds are worth their weight in gold. Pike seem to get a lot of flack from anglers, but they are our favorite species to target. I think it has a lot to do with anglers, especially those in southern Ontario or the United States, only catching small pike, which bite off all their expensive lures and slime up the boat. Being able to catch this many big fish in any single day on the water is just incredible, and we believe we could change their mind if they gave it a fair chance. After a weekend like this, you would think we would be satisfied with our work and the number of quality fish we were able to boat, but it's never enough. As happy as we are with this weekend, all we can think about is the next time we will get out there and just how big the fish in this area can get. Will the obsession ever go away? We doubt it. We'll always be on the hunt for these fish that are still uncharted. Fishing is fun, but we can all agree catching is a whole lot better. Fishing is a puzzle, and our Zero to Hero Masterclass is here to help you solve regardless of where, when, or what you fish for. The If you've never picked up a rod before or you've been fishing for a lifetime, our program will teach you all you need to catch more and bigger fish every time you hit the water. You'll learn how to use fish biology and environmental cues to figure out the hows and whys of their behavior in order to plan your fishing trips, make smart, informed decisions on the water, and ultimately put more and bigger fish in the boat. The new wave of fishing is here. Are you ready to catch it?